Hello, my name's Eric. I'd like to talk about how the Lord changed my life and the things that He's done for me. I had a pretty normal childhood. I had a good family, good Christian family, and a good upbringing. Um, got saved when I was 13 years old, and by the time I was 15, kind of started down the wrong path. Um, I was always the kind of guy that liked to be the center of attention, to make people laugh, and so peer pressure, pretty much succumbed to peer pressure and drinking, uh, doing a lot of partying at that age from 15 on up, and pretty much was doing it every weekend. And by the time I was 20, I'd gotten my first DUI, and luckily I didn't kill nobody or kill myself. And even though I was doing these worldly things to please myself, uh, the Lord still, had His arms around me. He was watching over me and protecting me. Because I can't really tell you how many times that I drove home and the next morning not remembering doing it. Uh, so the Lord had really, you know, watched over me and had His arms around me. Um, so when I started college, I was still kind of drinking from time to time, a weekend drinker. Uh, I went off to college and kind of got introduced to some harder drugs like cocaine and ecstasy and marijuana. Uh, got run around with the wrong people. Um, Ended up getting a second DUI while I was at college. Had to do like a weekend in jail and lost my license again. Uh, Paid a lot of money out in fines, lawyers, VASAP. Um, you'd think I'd learned my lesson, but I didn't. Um, Once again, the Lord just protected me the whole time when I would be out drinking and driving, or I'd be at parties and I'd drink so much that I would black out and can't remember anything. Uh, the things I'd done, He was always there. He was always there to protect me. So after college, I had an accident, hurt my back, and the doctor had prescribed me some pain medication. And at this time, I was teaching school, special ed. I had first and second grade. Um, I got back with some of my old friends that I knew before I went off to college, and kind of they were into snorting pain medicine and kind of introduced me to that. And I thought, wow, this is just awesome. My pain, I don't have any pain. As soon as the instant you do it, you have no pain, and you kind of get a little buzz, and you feel invincible. So that right there changed my life. Um, I taught school for 3 years, and during this time, I become addicted to pain pills and nerve pills, muscle relaxers. Uh, for 8 years, I was on them, and some days I would do over 30 pills a day. I'd snort over 30 pills a day, and mix some muscle relaxers and Xanax with them, and do enough to where I would just pass out, black out. Uh, the doctor told me that I experienced a lot of overdoses, and that I would do enough medication in one day to put a horse down. But once again, Jesus was there. He was always there all those nights, all those days, and just protecting me and watching over me. About the sixth year I was on this medication, I lost my job. I lost my family. I was married, had a house, car. I lost all that because of drugs. I let it take over and control me. Um, then I got two more DUI. These were DUIDs. So the other two alcohol-related ones, and these two, I became a felon. Had to do a year in jail. Um, so here I am in jail, scared to death. Uh, Lost everything. If you looked at me, I looked like I was a skeleton. I was pale, I was skinny, my eyes were sunk in my head, and I was on death's door. Uh, so there was more times I was driving while I was out of it, and the Lord still, was right there protecting me and protecting those around me, because I'm very blessed that I didn't kill somebody when I was behind the wheel. Um, so when I got out of jail, I thought, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get clean, um, start a new life, try to build back. Uh, but I never asked the Lord back into my heart. I thought I could just do this myself. And so the job I got, I was working around, I had two other guys that worked with me, and we'd ride in a van, and they would be smoking pot and snorting pills and drinking every day, and they'd be passing them in front of me from back and forth. And I was clean like 3 months out of jail, and so after I saw my probation officer, I thought, well, I could do it. I'll buy a few and do a few. This weekend I'll be clean next time my probation officer needs for me to give him a urine test. And that one time I bought some for that weekend. I was hooked right back, and failed a drug test for my probation officer, and I was looking at going back for 5 more years to prison. Once again, the Lord intervened and opened many doors for me, kept me out of prison. A recovery program I was trying to get into was going to take 60 to 90 days. And the Lord, He opened that door like that week for me, allowed for me to go ahead and get in and start in the recovery process. That was in 2011. While I was at the place where I went off to for recovery, I just asked the Lord back into my life. I wanted Him to know that He is my Savior, and He's holy and righteous and everything good, and I'm nothing without Him. And I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Um, Looking back now, I really, I can't explain to you the times that I would use drugs and drink to the point where I wouldn't even know I was alive. Uh, it seems like from when I was 20 up till now, I'm 42 years old, that most of my life I was wasted. But the Lord, He's good, and He saw me through all that to get to this point. Um, I thought I'd never get another good job with the background I have and the felony, and last December he opened another door. Then I got a better job than I had when I was teaching school, and I owe Him all the praise and honor for that. He introduced me to the woman who's now my wife, and I have two beautiful stepdaughters, and I just feel like I'm on top of the mountain, not down in the valley. And so I have a lot of paying back to do, because He's been good to me. And when I asked Him back into my life, back into my heart, I asked Him to forgive me of all those sins that I've done to not just my family members, but my friends and those that I don't even know. And He forgave me of those sins because He's a perfect God. And He said He would cast those sins as far as the east is from the west, and to never be remembered again. But I struggle from time to time with my past and my sins, and what I've done to my mom and my dad, my brother, and all my family and friends. It's hard. We're human. It's hard, but I know I can call on Him to give me that strength to get through it and to put it behind me and move forward and try to do His work and to talk to others about Jesus and His love for us. And that's what I plan on doing. Um, like I said, we serve and we have a holy, righteous, powerful God, and I'm nothing without Him, and I'm far from perfect, but our God, He is perfect.